SURI 2.0 in my opinion is the better all-round electric toothbrush package at the time of recording. This is when I consider how well it cleans, the brush features, price, reliability, accessories, warranty and environmental credentials. It offers a bit more bang for your buck compared to an Oral-B electric toothbrush with equivalent features. This is my quick and to the point answer, but the reality is that the true answer is a bit more complicated. I'm often asked which should I pick or which is better, but there are a whole host of influencing factors. The biggest problem I personally have with answering this question is that Oral-B and SURI are two brands who manufacture electric toothbrushes. Both make more than one toothbrush model, so when comparing it ultimately depends on which of their models you are comparing to which and what your needs are. If I were to compare an Oral-B Vitality to the SURI 2.0 and you said that you have a limited budget, then my recommendation would be very different to if you said you wanted all the bells and whistles and were prepared to pay for them. Having communicated with thousands of people during my time running Electric Teeth, I've learned that for many, SURI's brushes, notably the 2.0, hits that sweet spot. It's worth mentioning that at the time of recording, SURI does only have two models, and I suspect their original 1.0 variant will be discontinued at some point. But nonetheless, the question of which of the countless Oral-B models I am comparing to is important. It's the same scenario if you were to ask me the question with different brands of appliance, AEG or Miele, BMW or Mercedes cars, DeWalt or Makita power tools and so on. There might be generic differences and reasons to pick one over another. But when you start comparing different models, each has pros and cons, and how you rate such will depend on your personal needs and wants. Bearing this in mind, I will still guide you through some of the key differences and why one brand might be better than the other. Arguably, the most important factor, how well the brushes clean your teeth, is actually relatively simple to answer. The results are comparable. You and your dentist are unlikely to see any significant benefits by opting for one brand over the other, assuming you brush twice daily for 2 minutes at a time with the correct technique. There is clinical evidence that confirms both are effective. There are no comprehensive studies that I am aware of that compare Oral-B directly to SURI. There are studies that compare oscillating rotating round brush heads like Oral-B to sonic sweeping style brush heads of SURI. Clinical reviews of a vast number of these studies would suggest Oral-B's cleaning action does have the edge, but this isn't an open and shut case. Both will effectively remove plaque, and whilst there is a similarity in the movements, Oral-B offers circular brush motions due to the round heads compared to the sweeping motion of sonic SURI toothbrush. Oral-B is a far older, more established brand with an international presence and reputation. SURI is on the back foot, as by comparison they are a tiny company with a very limited global footprint and reputation at this time. Thus many rate Oral-B as better because they are not aware of SURI or don't have the years of experience with them like they do Oral-B. And naturally, with more time in the market and more money comes more clinical study promoting Oral-B. Oral-B's cleaning action does feel more intense and invigorating, and I personally get that dentist clean feeling with Oral-B more than I do with the softer and less intense cleaning action of SURI, but I know a more gentle action is what many others prefer. Nonetheless, SURI packs a punch when one considers that SURI's handle is typically quite a bit lighter and about half the thickness of most Oral-B handles. What it offers is incredible. SURI definitely takes the edge in design in my opinion, albeit Oral-B's IO range is a vast improvement on the likes of the Pro, Smart and Genius ranges that are less widely sold today. All metal handles in an array of interesting colours, SURI does look very much at home in the most stylish of bathrooms. They are lightweight, robust and easy to move around the mouth. This combination gives a certain in-hand feel that you'll be hard pushed not to like. But Oral-B is arguably better for some who struggle with grip. Whilst the vast majority of models are of all plastic constructions and not overly grippy, the larger size can be more practical, and some models with more textured surfaces can certainly be better for the young and old or for those with other disabilities. SURI's latest model, the 2.0, does now have a pressure sensor like a lot of Oral-B models, but Oral-B has the edge by some margin. Not only because it takes more force to activate SURI's sensor than Oral-B's, which I don't believe is a good thing, but many of Oral-B's pressure sensors are visual too. The 3-stage light sensor on the IO is brilliant. Both brands offer the recommended 2-minute timer and pacer, albeit only SURI powers off automatically at the end of the cleaning cycle. SURI's brush is quieter in use. The difference is not that great with the IO series, but compared to Pro and Genius models, it's quite significant at 10 to 15 decibels. Both have rechargeable lithium-ion batteries built into the handle. SURI outclasses Oral-B by quite some margin. The usage time is 2 to 3 times that of Oral-B as a general rule, in a handle that is typically half the width and depth. By default, SURI comes with a premium charging travel case, complete with UV sanitizer. Oral-B can't compete at all. Although they do make some charging travel cases, they are only available with specific models and cost a lot more. The cases are far bulkier and less practical, requiring a specific power adapter rather than the universal Type-C connector of SURI. A case isn't essential, but often very handy, particularly if you're on the go frequently. You have to pay about 3 times that of SURI to get an equivalent with Oral-B. SURI have embraced USB Type-C charging, making the brush a little more future-proof and travel-friendly. Oral-B has stuck to the traditional region-specific power adapters and charging stands. This isn't great for travellers. Supplied in the box is a magnetic mount that adheres to a flat surface such as a wall or a mirror. The SURI handle then effortlessly stays in place up off the countertop. This allows limited workspace to remain clutter-free. It also allows the brush to be positioned outside of splash zones. No such feature is available with Oral-B brushes. SURI really stands out in its sustainability credentials. The company is far from perfect, but they are doing a considerably better job than Oral-B, given the massive resources they have to be able to make positive impacts for consumers and the planet. SURI's brush heads are plastic-based like Oral-B's, but made from cornstarch PLA rather than petroleum-based plastic. Therefore, they are industrially compostable. SURI offers a free program to recycle brush heads. Oral-B does not. Being the major brand they are, Oral-B heads are widely stocked, which isn't the case as yet for SURI. Repairability is core to SURI, albeit it needs to be returned. They are committed to affordable repairs beyond the warranty period. Small steps have been taken by Oral-B. You can now replace a battery at home with select models, but they are barely scratching the surface as it stands. Oral-B does have the edge on warranty length and ease of access to support. SURI have created a brush that caters to most but not all, whereas there are Oral-B models that cater to pretty much everyone. When considering the average user, what they need, want and are prepared to pay, SURI 2.0 hits the sweet spot. Oral-B are there or thereabouts with their models, but it's more complicated to choose one due to the varying specs and prices. They tend to deliver better value brushes, compromising on some of the nice to have features that you get for not much extra with SURI. If you want these with Oral-B, you pay a decent premium. You might disagree, but I think SURI is typically the better purchase, all things considered.